Today we will be discussing about the word population. What is populations? The population is a word which is very much in today's media everywhere discussing about it. Every country is discussing about it. What is populations? And every country is worried about their population growth. And this is the most debated topic of today's world. So let me define what is population. Population can be defined in two ways. One is biologically and one is sociologically. Both the definitions is important in their own point of view, but still sociological definitions of populations is what we will looking for, or what we will be focusing on. But we will discuss both the definitions. Now, in biologically, population is defined as all organisms of same species of or group living or residing in a particular area and having the capability of interbreeding. So this means that same species or group in a particular area living, or a geographic, which is a particular area which has to be a geographical area and have a capability of reproducing or interbreeding. I think it's quite clear to you. Now, what is in sociology, it's same, but little different, depending. It's only deals with humans. Population in sociology, populations is defined as a collection of humans. Populations is in other words, the number of people living in an area, town, or village in a country or world. Population is determined by the process, or can be counted by the process known as census. So the question is, what is census? Census is nothing but a process or an official enumeration of counting of human beings in an area. It is first done in 1800s and the mid 1800s in 1872 by the Britishers. Now, but the first, which was experimental, it hasn't been completed. But now it has been. After 1881, it was started as an official census, and it is carried out after every 10 years of gap. So the last census was done in 2011, and we have a new census that will be coming up in 2021. So this is what is census means. It's the counting of or enumeration or estimation of a population of a country or an area or the world. So now, as we know, India is the second largest populated country in the world after China. So it is estimated that in year 2024 or by 2025, India will overcome China in the amount of population. So it is quite a thing that we should be worried about. In this thing, we come to a point that is known as demographic. We often use this word demographics in economics, in sociology, in various other ways, in geography also. So what is a demography? It's a branch of social science which deals with the statistical study of human population. Humans are the population is so large that we cannot count each and every person. So we make an estimation and we put it in a statistical study. So that will help us to make the study easier with the change in populations from last 10 years and the present 10, between these 10 years. So the population of India was quite high in the year 2011, which came down little bit in 2017 as estimated. But until and unless the official census of 2011 comes out, we cannot say the population growth has increased or decreased. But we hope that it will decrease, and it will help the population growth should decrease, which will help us in near future. Now coming to the point, this is the two most term that is widely used in population, that is demographics and the census. So now comes about, and we know comes about population density. Before talking about population density, so the question rise among the students: what is population density? The density is the population is the number of persons staying in an area in a particular time in a given unit area. Let me simplify it. A number of persons staying in in an unit area in one particular time. So if we exclude the time, a person same species or same human beings living in one area, in living in per unit area. So according to 2011 census, Bihar is got the highest population density, has got the which has Bihar is the state which got the highest population density of 382 of about having the highest populations of 1102 people person per square kilometers, where overall India has a population density of 382 square kilometers. This population density is directly proportional to the uh, favorable climate, favorable and other amenities. We will find that population density is quite high in the northern plains, because we have the northern plains, as we know, that it's drained by Ganga, Yamuna, all major rivers. Population density is high is again high in Bihar because it has a wide range of industrialization. People staying there, various industries have cropped up. Population people used to come down for the jobs, hence the population density has increased. Population density is again high in the coastal regions, where all the individuals work, all the industries are where fisheries have expanded, everything has done in coastal areas. But again you will find that population density is not same everywhere. It is less in Rajasthan, where the climate is very adverse, with very hot in the summers and while in the morning, and very cold in the evening. It's mainly covered by sand, so the population density is quite low. Again, on the other hand, Bihar having the highest population density of 1102 person per square kilometer. The population growth in 2017 was estimated by 1.13%. So you can understand that every year 1.13% increase makes the total population after 2025 will be huge. So the estimation by this 1.13%, the year that when we will surpass China with populations is 2025. As I said, majority of Indian population was reside in the northern plains. The states of Bihar, UP, West Bengal, Maharashtra, and Andhra Pradesh, where the industrialization, favorable climate, farming facilities are required. The presence of fertile lands of Ganga, Brahmaputra plain or the northern plain makes it more populated. As I also said, the coastal plains of India also populated to the due to the industry of fisheries has been developed in the coastal regions. So India is an overpopulated nation with 2.4% of the land area of the world, and the factors for the land area of the world. So the why this population is increasing? What will be the factors for this population to increase in India, in China? The In China, the population density is less due to the huge area that China covers as a country. But in India, India might be the seventh largest country in the world, but still the population and the area that India has is quite not in balance. So what is the factor behind these overpopulations, or behind this overpopulation in this country, or for example in this world? Increasing birth rate. So what is birth rate? Birth rate is a number of individuals getting birth or getting born in one single time. It is calculated as a 1,000 person is called the number of live births per 1,000 person is called birth rate. But according to the 2001 census, the birth rate is 20.22 births per 1,000 persons. The birth I think the birth rate is clear to you. I again repeat, the number of live births per 1,000. The new baby who is born should be alive per 1,000 person. Who is born per 1,000 person is called the birth rate, which is 20.22% in 2011 census. Declining of death rates. Number of people who is dying is less. The number of deaths per 1,000 person is known as death rate. The difference, and according to 2011 census, the death rate was 7.4%. And as I said earlier, the birth rate is 20.22%. The difference is around 13%, which is quite high. It should be the number of deaths should almost be equal to number of birth to maintain the population, or should maintain the stable population. But due to why this death rate has decreased, that there are again few factors such as the medical facilities. The medical facilities has increased quite a number, has increased for throughout the world. So people used to get better medical treatment, which we were deprived of in earlier days. The age of dying has increased. The people in earlier days, people used to live till 70, 74. Now, maximum, now the average age has increased to 80, 84 due to this healthcare and medical facilities. So I'm not telling that these medical facilities shouldn't be there, but it should be there. The medical facilities have helped us to, as which already create an adverse effect, also helped us in increase the birth rate, and also helping us to increasing the declining the death rate, which is the main cause of overpopulations. The most and the again there is one of the important point is the poverty. India is an agricultural country. Mainly, most of their income is generated by the agriculture. So, people, every time crops doesn't grow well, so people coming from different backgrounds come increase their helping hand increase their helping hand by giving more births, which will help to minimize their poverty in their family. So this poverty is again a main cause. Number of person increased in one family to overcome the poverty is again a main cause for this populations. Now migrations. Now migration. Migration is another factor which changes the size of the population of a life, of an area rather. People migrate to different area in search of work. As I said, northern plains is highly fertile land which helps in agriculture. As agriculture, and there are different industries which cropped up beside the banks of Ganga, Yamuna, Godavari. So now, these people come to join this industry. So the people earlier used to stay, those who earlier used to stay, still lives in that area. Plus, the people coming from outside outside for seeking a job in in these areas increase the population density as well as the population of that area. Not only from India, people from outside world also comes to India to work. Hence, the population is again increased. If people is migrating from one country to another due to lack of work or poverty, better employment factors, overpopulation, the country in which the migration is taking place, the population is increased. While the population from once, if someone migrate from state of Maharashtra to West Bengal, the population of India doesn't change. But the population of West Bengal or the population density of West Bengal is changing, which is which is quite alarming to provide food in the for alarming for the state of West Bengal or Bihar in that sense. And lack of family planning. Most developed nations, large number of people, most of the developing nations has large number of families. To make them literate is cost effective again. Basic educations are not given to every family in order so that they can work instead of going to school and overcome their poverty. So again, the poverty comes into this place where the poverty is a most important factor for overpopulation or population in this country. The population should increase with number of in a constant level with throughout, but it doesn't increase in such a way. It increases in an exponential way. It always forms a J-shaped curve. It will be helpful if I draw it over here. It always go if this is it always follow a J-shaped curve. With increasing year, the number of years and number of persons. So the number of person from number of years, if I consider from time 2000 from 1 AD, the population was less. It increasing. In 2019, it went till here, which is quite high. It should follow a graph like this or an exponential graph like this. But it drastically increased in the middle eras of our history due to lack of poverty, which not only made the small children to work for their family to overcome poverty, and they were deprived of going to school, which made them illiterate of the basic education. So there is no family planning was given. Idea of family planning was given to them. So the children were married to early age, and they fail to understand the harmful effects of overpopulation, as they also avoid family planning due to lack of quality education and to overcome their poverty. So I'm now I was talking about the factors of overpopulation. So what will be the effect for overpopulation? Why the world is worried about of their overpopulation? So we know there are effects of overpopulation. We know that a majority of the sources or the natural resources what we have, we drive our cars on petrol or diesel, or we use our gases, LPG for cooking. But these things can't be replenished. These are natural resources which will be perished, will become obsolete after some days, or it will be finished after some days. So now, what? So how it is dependent on overpopulation? The effect of overpopulation is quite severe. The sustain huge population, natural resources like forest, fossil fuels are used up. So coming to forest, to sustain and such a huge population, to giving them a roof to stay, we have to cut down our forest to give them an agricultural land. Fossil fuels, again, for forest, we are destroying the habitats. Various species every day or in month or a week, we see that tigers are coming into their coming outside of their habitat to a residential area or something. So why? Because they are deprived of their lands where they were staying. So we human beings are responsible that we are cutting down forest, taking away their land to fulfill our needs. Now fossil fuels, we run our car by petrol or diesels, but these are in limited quantities. We don't have in an unlimited quantities. These fossil fuel might last for next 100 years or 100 or 120 years. After that, we don't have anything. So this will again help disturbing the balance of nature. And after that, we don't know how we will cook our food or how we'll drive our cars. So these overpopulations, to sustain our needs or to sustain these overpopulations, we are depleting our natural resources. So last year it came into news that South Africa was undergoing several droughts. Water has become scarce. So why this happened? We are destroying our water resources too. We are populating our rivers, lakes, and several other water resources. So this it has become a chance of war and aggressions because few countries have no water left with fresh water left with them for drinking. So they will have to export or import water from outside countries with high price, where the people will face high problems. So in South Africa, what was I been telling? The South Africa people were only allotted 25 or the 3 gallons of water every day for their consumptions, where they used to can have where they used to have an unlimited gallons of water every day, but they were rationed 3 gallons of water every day under the strict supervisions of South African army. So this leading to war and aggression among the peoples. Coming, so furthermore, degradation of environment. We are to sustain our living, we are using coal, fossil fuels, natural gas, petrol, diesel. These burning of coal emitting carbon dioxide, and half burnt coal emitting carbon monoxide, which is again harmful for global warming, as we already know that we are facing a global warming throughout the world, depleting the ozone layer, which is responsible to save us from harmful UV rays, but yet we are depleting those. The effect of global warming is the melting of ice caps in both the poles, and in turn increasing the sea level. The low-lying areas of Sundarban, Kolkata, Mumbai will be in great danger as if the sea level rises to certain meters. The heritage site of biodiversity hotspot of Sundarban will be submerged, with killing most of the habitats, most of the species in one go. So rise of sea level is another consequence or is again a problem for overpopulations, as if we human beings regulate our use of coal, we can help to save our environment at least. Overgrowth population can be overcome by better education, campaigns for family planning, tax benefits, and knowledge, and most knowledge of a quality education is mandatory. We humans are responsible for this degradation of environment. So we humans are only can only help to restore the environment back by keeping the population low. Again, the job facilities or the job vacancies, due to overpopulation, the job it has become scarce. No, with people having, if there are 1,000 people, only 100 have jobs, else the remaining 900 has no jobs. So we should be aware of this overpopulation if it is not taken seriously in the coming years. Now I